Ladies, and welcome to Orkanimi. This is Saratova Best. So here we are in the week of the Makos, of the plagues. And of course, the plagues are not just a story about once upon a time in the land of Egypt, that something happened, but it obviously has everything to do with us. So what is it? Obviously, we're not going to focus on how bad it was. I mean, how bad it was that there was such depravity in Egypt, in the land of Mitzrayim, that it created an entire breakdown of the laws of nature, and hence you had the 10 plagues. And of course, the 10 plagues correspond to the 10 spheros, the Aseres Adibros. Think of all the 10s, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. They all have to do with each other. So again, what's it for me? The 10 plagues correspond to, they work backwards, Dam Tzfardea Kinim, etc. They correspond to Chachma Bina Das, or Keser Chachma Bina Chesed Bura Tiferes Netzach Yisoid Malchus. Meaning what? Let's work backwards. The first plague of blood was about Malchus. For me, for us, Malchus, we could say it in a user-friendly way, confidence. Confidence. What's your level of confidence? What's your level of self-confidence? So here's the thing. In every one of these plagues, which was, as we said, a reflection of a breakdown in the 10 spheros, there's the healthy version, there's the unhealthy version, which causes the breakdown, and the healthy version, which causes the tikkun, the fixing. The unhealthy version was unhealthy Malchus, expressed itself by whom? Good old Pharaoh, good old Paro. And we know that the plague was that the river Nile turned to blood. We know that. This river Nile had to happen to be the place from which he took all his confidence. He took all his self-confidence from that place. When Moshe Rabbeinu, when Moses came to him and said, "Let my people go," he said, "Who says? Why?" And Vaerah Where said, "What do you mean?" God said, "Let them go." And he said, "Who's this God?" "I don't know what you're talking about. Let me look it up in my book." So he looked up in his book and he said, "I don't know, in my book of gods, I don't know who you're talking about." They said, "God is the creator of the world." He said, "What? Creator of the world? What are you talking about? I'm the creator of the world. I created myself from the river Nile." So we understand he got it wrong, right? He got it wrong. He had a lot of self-confidence, but he got it all wrong. He got it all backwards. That's called the epitome of pure unholiness. He got it all backwards. Where did he have this confidence from? This backwards, unholy confidence? From the river Nile. So of course, what would be the consequence? The river Nile, his life force, as he believed, would then turn to blood. Blood all being connected with the life force, etc. So that was the unhealthy version of confidence, of self-confidence, coming to its peak until it has to be destroyed. What's the tikkun? What's the fixing for that? The healthy version of Malchus. We have two figures in history, Lahavdil, Paro, we just spoke about him, unhealthy Malchus, unhealthy self-confidence, and Moshe Rabbeinu. Completely healthy, holy, whole, grounded self-confidence. They both say I. They both say I. They say, I this, I that, I did this, I did that. In the Chumash and Devarim, Moses, Moshe Rabbeinu says, if you do the right things, I will give you grass, I will give you food, I will give you produce, I will give you rain. So where do we see the difference between Paro saying I and Moses saying I? Because when Paro says I, he means myself, self-confidence. My ego self, separate from God. My ego self that totally denies that there is a God. Me being the center and nothing behind me. When Moses says I, it's a non-existent, transparent I, which is simply allowing pure godliness to flow right through him. So to say it in simple terms, Paro exemplified self-confidence. Moses exemplified God-confidence. See the difference? Self-confidence, which is unholy, and God-confidence, which is holy. They both sensed that there is a power, but one took his power from unholy, unhealthy places, and the other took his power from holy, healthy places. So what is it for us? So the truth is, I mean, we know we're not Paro, we're not Moses, we're somewhere in between. And that battle rages within every, even healthy individual. It's even a healthy battle. It's the battle of Gullus to Geula within each of us. When we ask the question in this generation, how do you build your self-confidence? There are those who say, seriously, why would you want to build self-confidence? Just to be more like Paro? You want to build God confidence. You want to build the kind of confidence that enables you to experience where your true power is coming from. That you're a transparent vehicle for God to shine right through you, to manifest his power right through you. They sound the same, but they're diametrically opposite between Paro and Moses. And that's the goal of this generation. And that's the koach, that's the energy that's being infused into us in this week. The ability to shift over from self-confidence to God confidence. And so the question is, when we shift over to this not simple shift to God confidence, so do you have any power, or are you just a puppet? And the truth is, well, I can give you an example. Have you ever seen it before? Yeah. Well, I invite you to watch some videos of the Lubavitcher Rebbe and see, there you see an example of God confidence expressing itself in everyday life. That's not self-confidence, that's God confidence. And what do you see there? Enormous power, a sense of bravery and a sense of confidence that there is nothing that cannot be done. There is nothing that cannot be accomplished. The world is our playpen. The world is here for us to illuminate. Why should anything stand in our way? Other people would say, Paro would say, you see, that's real self-confidence. But Moses says, no. And the Rebbe says, that's not self-confidence. That's God confidence. But God confidence is true power, is the kind of power that does not ever, does not ever phase out. Because what we're doing is moving towards the time of Messianic times, the third Beis HaMikdash, which will be eternal. Which means we're stepping now into an energy in which we can experience true power coming through us that never burns out. No burnout, no end. Eternal true power that comes from a place of truth, reveals truth, and enables us to illuminate the entire world, all coming through us, and find ourselves doing almost superhuman things compared to what we would expect of ourselves, and sometimes even do them effortlessly because they're so miraculous. Because it's God confidence. It's not coming from us, it's coming from God shining right through us. So ladies, this is the week when we're being empowered to do it. And boy, are we ever being empowered in the strangest way by these plagues that are happening in the Parsha. What an interesting wrapping paper for such a massive bracha and such a massive infusion of energy and kayach and strength. Let's take advantage of it. It's being done for us. We're here to take it. Tune into that God confidence and realize what we can accomplish, whom we can become, and step into that right here, right now. And surely we'll illuminate the entire world and find ourselves. Let it be this week in the third base of Mikdash, an eternal place of eternal godliness in this world forever. Thanks so much.